You're watching the Yes Network, the home of champions.
It was the game before the regularly scheduled game, which might have more of an impact on future games than the regularly scheduled game. You got that? Andy Pettitte simulated game against Alex Rodriguez this morning at Yankee Stadium. Both of them came through it okay, and now tomorrow we'll see if they're sore and how close they are to returning. But today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the world champion New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the middle game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. It is a gorgeous day to be alive, a great day for a ball game, obviously, and the Yankees are winning. They've won 7 straight. Yesterday it was 7-3, and it was 2 guys again who just stepped out and did their job.
Yeah, the 2 guys at the top of the order, Brett Gardner and Curtis Granderson, having big afternoons yesterday for the Yankees. Granderson hooking the ball in the corner. It's going to be a double, a couple RBIs for him. He had a few doubles yesterday and 3 RBIs on the day. Brett Gardner scoring all the way from first. You can see the pants hiked up as he slides home. He also had a nice afternoon leading off for the New York Yankees, getting on base a couple of times, walking at the beginning, and then a big triple to the right center field gap. Brett Gardner leading off lately is a spark plug for the New York Yankees.
And we'll give you the entire lineup later, but he's atop the lineup again yesterday, 1 for 3, a triple, a ribby, 2 walks, and 3 runs scored. Curtis Granderson, 2 for 3, 2 doubles, 3 ribbies, 2 walks, and a run scored. Not too bad. Keep hitting like that, you keep winning games.
And a 7-game winning streak. Everything has been working for the Yankees. Runs per game, 7 1/3, or 7.1, 314 batting average, 14 home runs, and it ties the longest winning streak of the season. Good pitching and timely hitting.
Now, will they get good pitching today? Javier Vasquez comes out of the bullpen, and he's back into the rotation. What is he going to show? Will he be as effective as a starter as he was in a reliever? Well, John Flaherty will explain next on segment 2, right here on Yes. For the Blue Jays, Mark Zipchinski, 1-3 at 6.03 ERA. And for the Yankees, Javier Vasquez, 10-9 with a 4.86. Hello, everybody. You know the deal. That's John Flaherty right there, and I'm Michael Kay. And the guy on the mound for the Yankees is going to be Javier Vasquez. This is after 2 relief appearances where he was really, really good. Last time out, kind of pitched his way back into the rotation.
Well, he certainly did. 4 2/3 innings against the Oakland A's. He had an outstanding curveball in this outing. And as always, Derek Jeter helping out a little bit with the jump throw over to Mark Teixeira. But Javi Vasquez has improved his mechanics since coming out of the pen. The curveball has gotten better. The changeup has better bite down. I think there's a confident pitcher pitching for the Yankees this afternoon.
Just look at those relief appearances. Against Toronto, 4 1/3, just 2 hits. Against Oakland the last time, 4 2/3, 2 hits. And he also struck out 6. That convinced the Yankees he should be back in the rotation. And Joe Girardi feels confident about him today. The train's pulling in. It's almost time for baseball. When we come back, lineups, first pitch baseball, next on Yes. Furnishing your style with a guaranteed delivery of 3 days or less. By the 2010 Honda Clearance. It's the only thing from Honda that will last. And by IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. We mentioned earlier, it's just a beautiful day. Nice breeze and some puffy clouds overhead, punctuating the sky blue. Oh, just great. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup presented by our good friends at Lexus, and this put together by Cito Gaston and right field Dwayne Wise. Aaron Hill's at second base. Jose Bautista moves to third. He still bats third. Vernon Wells cleans up in center field. Lyle Overbay at first. John Buck will catch. Adam Lynn, the DH, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, John McDonald. And Travis Snyder, the left fielder, will bat ninth.
That Blue Jay lineup is going to get another look at Javi Vasquez. We'll take a look at his numbers on the year. Back in the rotation after a few relief appearances. 4.86 ERA, 131 hits, and 139 innings. And we'll look at our scouting report. He has earned another opportunity in this rotation with 2 long relief outings that have been much better than he was when he was last in the rotation. And he's working on a little leg swing with his left leg, giving him a little bit more power and a higher arm angle. And a good matchup against the Blue Jays. 1 start, 1 relief appearance. They have an .081 batting average against Javi Vasquez, so I'm sure the confidence level high for the Yankee starter today.
Well, there's a brisk wind blowing out today, and that should be interesting to see how it affects fly balls toward the bleachers. But all of the flags are starts out that way, and we'll keep a close eye on it. But otherwise, just a beautiful day for baseball. Great day to sit in the stands as well. And we thank you for spending part of your Labor Day weekend with us. Dwayne Wise digs in. He's ready. So is Javier Vasquez. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is grounded foul, and also a short of the bat flies off toward the right side. So we're underway. John, is this the greatest day ever?
It could be the greatest day ever. Got rid of some of that heat. The hurricane missed us. Gorgeous day. College football starting.
Nice. It's like a postcard. Dwayne Wise, 271, 3 homers and 13 runs batted in. Blue Jays were 69 and 65. The 0-1. High fly ball, left field. Gardner puts it away for the first out. Well, we talked about the weather. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 79 degrees. Humidity 33%. Wind southwest 21 miles per hour. That's not too great. Forecast sunny and windy. They used to live down the block from me. Sunny and windy. Here's Aaron Hill. 4 for his last 13. And the pitch outside, 1-0. Blue Jays are not a good road team. They're 34 and 38. And they're 4 games over overall, so much better at Rogers Center. Another high fly ball. Gardner battling the sun and the wind for the second out. Let's check out the Yankees defense, and it's brought to you by Mercedes. Hey, we met Gardner twice already, so we'll start with him. He's in left field. Moving to center, Curtis Granderson. In right field, Marcus Thames. Nick Swisher, a late scratch out of the lineup. Infield, third to first, Nunez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. Cervelli behind the plate, and Javier Vasquez is on the mound.
Well, Javi Vasquez made a couple of nice long relief appearances out of the pen, gets another shot at the rotation, and also made a little mechanical adjustment with that left leg. Check it out when he swings it up there a little better.
Strike to Bautista.
Because of that, his arm angle a little bit higher, and the stuff has improved. He comes all the way up, higher than we saw before.
Line foul.
What I like more than anything else, though, Michael, is Javi Vasquez going to the bullpen and not pouting about it. A couple of relief appearances. He pitched better, and he has earned another opportunity at the rotation. We'll see how it works out the final month.
And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got it. That's an impressive first inning for Javier Vasquez. 7 pitches, 3 up, 3 down. Blue Jays nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Mark Zipchinski's going to have the base, and this lineup is presented by Lexus. Brett Gardner's been red hot. He's in left field leading off. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, bats second. Batting third and playing first base, Mark Teixeira. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, cleans up. Batting fifth and playing right field, Marcus Thames. Lance Berkman, the DH, he's going to bat in the number 6 spot. Number 7, playing center field, Curtis Granderson. Eduardo Nunez at third base hits 8th. Batting 9th and catching, Francisco Cervelli.
The New York Yankees will get another look at left-hander Mark Zipchinski. We'll take a look at his numbers on the season. ERA over 6, 38 hits and 31 1/3, and he has walked 14. Not the greatest numbers. Opponents hitting 300, and we'll take a look at our scouting report. It's another shot at the Yankees. The first time around did not go too well for him. 3 innings, 6 earned runs. And a typical lefty, he doesn't overpower you, relies on movement, a good fastball slider, and a change. And a little race to the bat rack for the right-handers this year. They're hitting .327 against the lefty Zepchinski.
Well, he's got a left-hander that will start it off, and then Derek Jeter after that. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes. Snyder, Wells, and Wise. That's left to right in the outfield. Infield, Bautista, McDonald, Hill, and Overbay. Bautista's 36th start at third this year. Plays a lot of right field. Buck behind the plate. Zepchinski is on the mound. Gardner's last 9 games, 11 walks, an on-base percentage of .541, 9 for 26, .346 batting average. And there's a strike, and that's why he's leading off against a lefty. That's a little bit of a change there, John. Usually against left-handers, they have him batting at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, well, he's earned this. I mean, this is pretty much what the second time around, giving him a shot at the leadoff spot, and he's taken advantage this time. All the walks, getting on base, scoring runs.
Yankees high water mark 85 and 50. Tampa Bay won last night, so they remain a game and a half behind the Yankees in the American League East. He's walked in 8 straight games, and as you saw, that's the first time the Yankees done it since Johnny Damon. Now you might wonder who's walked in 9 straight. You go back to 2006, and Jason Giambi did. The 1-2. Chopped slowly up the middle. Fielded it by Hill across the body. Can't be handled by Overbay. And Gardner reaches. We'll see how they score. And they give him a base hit.
This is what Zepchinski tries to do. He relies on movement, gets some ground balls. You can see Hill coming. The off-balance throw pulls Overbay off the base. Give Brett Gardner an infield hit, and you wonder if the speed of Brett Gardner forced Hill to rush that throw offline. Good sinker down the middle. Brett gets out of the box in good shape. Picks up an infield hit.
25th infield hit this year for Gardner. Now here's Derek Jeter. In the number 2 hole this year, Derek has played 11 games, and he has not been successful in this spot. 4 for 41. That's 098. But let's give you a positive stat on Derek. Against lefties this year, 32 for 83. That's 386. And that's at home here at Yankee Stadium. And he's also a 325 hitter in day games. Now, you all know the numbers of late. 2 for 16 on this homestand and 3 for his last 34.
You would expect this to be a good matchup, Michael, with all the numbers you just mentioned. A left-hander, Brett Gardner on first base. A lot of focus will be on him.
Jeter shows bunt.
Expect Derek to get some good pitches to hit here in this at-bat.
Derek's hitting has happened here at Yankee Stadium this year. He struggled on the road, but still a dangerous hitter in the Bronx. But not so far on this homestand, where he sat out yesterday's game against a tough righty Morrow. Just a day off. And there's a strike. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
It was a good day off yesterday for Derek Jeter. The tough right-handed Brandon Morrow, who actually did not have great stuff yesterday. But Derek didn't have good numbers against him. Nice day off. See what happens today.
1-1. 1-2. Derek was in the indoor cage right off the Yankee clubhouse early, working with Kevin Long, and his swing, to the untrained eye looked pretty locked in. He was lining what would be balls to right center field. There's netting around, obviously, but you don't see Derek do that early BP work, and for him to be there, so he's obviously intent on straightening this out.
Yeah, you would think this situation, a big hole between first and second, would be right what he needs.
High fly ball, right field. Wise backs up, and he'll make the play. Gardner played it halfway, heads back. So Derek's struggles continue.
Well, pay attention to the fly balls today. I mean, the ball is jumping out of here in batting practice. See the flags swirling up top. Be a nice day to hit.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Yesterday the wind was blowing in. Today it seems to be blowing out. Now the old stadium used to swirl, so the way the flags were blowing didn't necessarily mean that's the way the ball was flying. But this stadium seems to play more true to the flags. Pitch outside. Since Alex Rodriguez went on the DL and he could come off tomorrow, Teixeira has certainly picked up the slack. 447, 3 homers, and 11 runs batted in. Count 2-0.
Mark Teixeira up in Toronto against Zepchinski. Deep home run to left field. 3 for 7 in his career with that 1 home run. And we saw Zepchinski up there did not have a whole lot in that ball game. 3 innings, 6 earned runs.
Runner goes. Pitches outside. Throw to second. Not in time. Made it pretty close. But Gardner's in there with the stolen base.
Stolen base number 40 for Brett Gardner. Goes on first move and gets a decent jump. John Buck, an impressive throw from his knees. One hops Aaron Hill. Nice pick and a tag. Looked like they might have had him. See again on our replay.
Yep, he's out. No argument, though. He was out. The 3-0 to Teixeira. There's a strike on the outside corner. Home plate umpire is Ed Hickox.
Fastball there from Zepchinski, 88 miles an hour, a little sinker down and away. Didn't look like Mark Teixeira was interested in swinging. See if he gets the same pitch here, 3-1.
Now you might be wondering, well, who's the last Yankee to steal 40 bases? You have to go back 8 years to 2002, and Alfonso Soriano was the last one to do it. He's still 13 behind Juan Pierre of the White Sox. Everybody else closely bunched. Three-two. Driven to left field. Snyder hardly had to move for the second out.
Nice job by Zepchinski coming all the way back from a 3-0 count. And with the sinker, changeup, and the last pitch, a little slider.
Here's Robinson Cano. He's 0 for his last 12, 1 for his last 16 against the Blue Jays this year, 7 for 51, so he's not had success against them. And there's a strike.
You know, like Derek Jeter had a day off yesterday, I thought this might have been a day off today for Robinson Cano, facing a lefty. Saw the numbers struggling a little bit lately. Joe Girardi decides to keep his second baseman in the lineup. An RBI situation in the first inning.
There's a ground ball to first. Overbay will beat Cano to the bag, and that'll do it. So the leadoff infield single does not haunt Zepchinski and the Jays. No runs ahead. 1 man left. Let's go to the second. There's no score. bit of a chill in the air. Today's question is for John Flaherty. Will Darrelle Revis play in the Jets season opener? That'll be the 13th of September, Monday night, against the Ravens. You can text us at 58772. Standard text messaging rate supply. 1 yes, 2 no. What do you say, John?
I say I hope so, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either. There'd have to be a seismic change in one of the sides.
Are they even talking?
Not that we hear, but there's been a media blackout regarding the talks. I think if the Jets start off 0-2 against the Ravens and the Patriots, then all of a sudden he has leverage, and if they're 2-0, then they have leverage, and then they'll get serious. Jason Taylor, who on Hard Knocks kept getting lost, getting to the Meadowlands, found his way to the stadium. He, his wife, his 2 boys. Talking with Alex Rodriguez. Alex lives down in Miami. That's where Jason lives. Jason could be a big part of what the Jets do, especially with the injury to Calvin Pace. That one's popped up. And it's out of play. A lot of action on the field today. The simulated game. Jason Taylor. Kim Jones has a lot more in the simulated game in the 3rd inning. But didn't have the same attendance as this game, but it was closely watched, I'll tell you that. 1-1. That's kind of neat. Andy in the 3rd inning, they threw 3 innings, John. I think he was really throwing hard in the 3rd inning. And that's about as close as like a civilian would ever come. You're right on the field watching Andy Pettit pitch to Alex Rodriguez. Kind of a neat venue and different look that you don't get.
What did you think? You think you could stand in there against Andy Pettit, put the ball in play?
Absolutely not.
Put it in play. Just
no. Couldn't even foul tip it. Couldn't even foul tip it. I have long contended, and I get into argument, there's no one thing harder to do in any sport than hitting a baseball. I'm sorry, there's nothing harder. Nothing.
Did the speed intimidate you?
In the 3rd inning when he was throwing that hard, and he's not a flamethrower, I couldn't do it. I know I couldn't do it. Popped up. Cano called off by Thames. I've always been blown away, John, if you think about the amount of time that you have to pull the trigger as a batter and how your synapses have to fire and get you to swing the bat, and then what happens if the ball curves or dips? It's an amazingly tough thing to do. I have the utmost respect for baseball players. This is about 10 a.m. today, and Andy's dealing. And he struck out Alex looking. Reggie Jackson was the home plate umpire. Punched out Alex on that one. Here's Overbay. Fouled away. It's less than a second, right, John, to make that decision?
I'm sure it is. I mean, from a player's standpoint, you've done it your whole life, so you don't think about it in those terms. It's less than a second. How am I going to do this? You just know when you face a guy who's got a little something extra where the velocity is something you really have to worry about. But major league hitter, if it's not 94, 95, they don't even raise an eyebrow.
Amazing.
It's the movement on pitches, and you heard Tino Martinez, he was here a couple of days ago, talk about sinkers. That's when it really took it to another level.
That one is driven deep to right. Tim's back. He's on the track. He's at the wall. See ya. Home run, Lyle Overbay, and the Blue Jays lead 1-0.
"17 home runs for Overbay. As a fan throws the ball back into right field, Marcus Thames will take care of that. You got to believe this might not be the only home run today just because the wind blowing out, but that was a bad, looked like maybe a slider. Mid-80s with the velocity and ends up in the right field seats.
Let's check out the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And that's been a bugaboo, John, for Vasquez all year. He gives up home runs.
The solo home runs are not going to beat you. Like I said, this might be one of those days where the wind blowing out a lot of home runs. We'll see how it plays.
That's the 28th home runs he is allowed. Only James Shield is allowed more. Shields with 29 allowed. And remember, Javi's had 2 stints in the bullpen as well. The 1-0. 2-0. He's allowed home runs in 9 of his last 10 outings. And as John said, though, as long as there are no runners on base, you don't go nuts over those. Count 3-0.
Just want Hobby to have that same mentality he had coming out of the bullpen. Really aggressive behind in the count here.
And he walks Buck, the Blue Jays All-Star representative. First 5 starts for Hobby were disastrous. 1-3, close to a 10 ERA. Then his next 15 games, he was as good as anybody. 8-4, 3.29, and then the next 4 starts got him sent to the bullpen again. Then in the last 2 games, 2 bullpen outings, 9 innings, 2 earned runs. So maybe he's back to what he was in those 15 games.
Yeah, and when you notice out of the bullpen, the velocity increased a little bit.
Off-speed pitch, and it's popped up by Adam Lind. Jeter's there for the second out.
Velocity increased, and the arm angle was a little bit better. You also like the mindset of Hobby Vasquez, really aggressive coming out of the pen.
Here's John McDonald from Connecticut. A lot of family and friends at the ballpark. Dependable guy off the bench, can play a lot of positions, can fill in the outfield, pesky hitter. Nice guy on the team. Count 1-0.
See, Hobby's body language not the greatest right now. I don't know if he's having a problem with Ed Hickox behind the plate in the strike zone, or he's not happy with his location.
That one's driven deep to left field. Is it fair? It's off the pole. A 2-run home run for John McDonald. And it's 3-0 Toronto.
Like a little slider down and away. Get another look at it. Pretty much spun middle of the plate. McDonald was a little bit early, was fooled on the velocity or lack of velocity, but able to keep it fair right off of the pole. For a guy who doesn't hit a lot of home runs, that's home run number 6 for McDonald.
Off the left side of the pole.
6 home runs increases his career high. The 2 home runs this inning have pretty much been the same pitch, kind of spinning sliders in the middle of the plate. Dave Island just went out and had a conversation, maybe trying to clean something up mechanically.
Travis Snyder takes inside. Strike. Foul back. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. But damage done with the long ball. It started with Lyle Overbay. Kind of a slider spinning up there right in front of him, in his eyes, and then in the seats. And then John McDonald peppers the foul pole and left for a 2-run shot. It's 3-0 Blue Jays. Walker. 1993 on this day. Yankee pitcher Jim Abbott pitches a no-hitter, a 4-0 win against the Indians at Yankee Stadium. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. There's Marcus Thames against Zipchinski. What a day that was at the stadium. Just amazing. Everything that Jim Abbott went through to get to the big leagues. Pitching with what many would consider a disability, he didn't. And then to no-hit the Indians, who had a lot of those good young players that turned into that great team.
Yeah, that's the first thought in my mind. See Baerga hitting a ground ball to end it. But that was a potent young lineup. A young Manny Ramirez in that lineup. Joey or Albert Bell. Don't know what name he was going with at the time.
High fly ball, center field off the bat of Thames. Wells back. And on the track, he hauls it in for the first out. 3-0 Blue Jays. Here in the bottom of the second with 2 home runs in the top of the inning against Vasquez, providing the margin. Here's Lance Berkman, a late addition to the lineup when Nick Swisher was scratched. Berkman 4 for his last 7. And that's since coming off the DL. Now, we mentioned a new career high for John McDonald. To go even deeper on that, McDonald now has 4 home runs in his last 9 games. There's a ground ball up the middle. Fielded there by McDonald, and he fires to first to get Berkman. 4 home runs in his last 9 games. He'd never hit more than 4 in an entire season. So he's finding the power stroke, and he puts away Berkman with a nice play in the field.
Yeah, that's what he's known for, the nice play in the field. Going to his left, sliding, gets up to his feet quickly, and an accurate throw. Impressive infielder is having a big year at the bat. Maybe this whole new philosophy with the Blue Jays, swing hard, get a fastball to hit, try to drive it. It's worked out for McDonald.
Here's Curtis Granderson, and there's a strike. Soft ground ball to second base. Hill to Overbay in an easy 1-2-3 inning on 6 pitches for Mark Zipchinski. We're going to go to the third. It is 3-0 Toronto. Third inning here at the stadium. Oh, love is in the air. Isn't that nice? A Blue Jay fan who's happy, a Yankee fan who's not. But, you know, it's early in the game as we go to the third. We also go down to the third base camera well, where our very own Kimberly Jones is there. And, Kim, you were here at the ballpark early, as many of us were, to see the simulated game. A lot really rides on that game, Kim, for sure.
Absolutely. Joe Girardi saying, it goes without saying how important Alex and Andy are for us. We want to get them both back, and we want them both to be healthy. That's one of the prime concerns. The prime concern now, Michael, is when both come back, make sure they are healthy for the stretch run.
All right, so let's talk about Alex first. What did you hear? What did you see? And I know you spoke to Alex.
Yes, I did. And Alex was here around 9:15 on the field this morning taking grounders. He then went into the cage and did some hitting. Then he was one of the 3 hitters Andy Pettitte faced in his sim game, and those other hitters, Greg Golson and Ramiro Pena. Alex hit well. He has been hitting well. He also ran the bases with as much of a sprint as Joe Girardi says we can expect from Alex. He said that's about where he's going to be. The trainers have told him, at least initially when he comes back, to take choppy steps out of the box, so they will continue to be cautious when he does come back. Alex told me he was very encouraged by what he did today. I said, how about tomorrow? Because we all know he's eligible to come off the DL tomorrow. He said, I'm encouraged about today. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. So caution is the word of the day when it comes to Alex, but all promising news so far.
It is interesting, though, Kim, how he refuses to sign up for tomorrow. He just will not say that it's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day he could come off, and with the 40-man roster, they could take him off tomorrow. It's just when he's going to play.
Right, and I think, Michael, he's thinking of those very first explosive steps out of the box. Those are a concern of his. You've got to also think about going first to third. And can he really do that and feel comfortable doing it? Those are the kinds of things that are in Alex's mind as we speak.
Aaron Hill swings and misses. So let's switch to the mound then. And Andy Pettitte, he pitched what was the equivalent of 3 innings, and he would sit down between innings, walk to the dugout. What did you see, and what did Andy say?
Well, Joe Girardi said that he was really encouraged because Andy threw all of his pitches and said he felt good. As for Andy, he said it was in that 3rd inning that he was really able to let it go. He felt very encouraged by that. And again, his next step will be determined by how Andy feels tomorrow. In Andy's ideal world, he'd have a rehab outing Wednesday, probably throw about 65 pitches. And it is worth noting the AAA team has a playoff game scheduled for Wednesday. And then he would return to the rotation if all goes well. So we are talking about Andy meeting that mid-September self-imposed deadline, if you will, as long as things continue to go as well as they are.
Now, also, when Girardi said it, John, you can chip in with this, he said if we get him up to 75 pitches, we feel that, that's fine to get him out on the mound in the big leagues. Would you agree?
Oh, totally. That's plenty. I mean, I think you probably even back it down a little bit to, 60 pitches, but Kim, I think what you saw during the 3rd inning, he looked like he was going pretty much full tilt.
Yeah, and he was getting ticked off when he didn't hit his spot, John, and that's how you know Andy's Andy. But Chad Moeller did the catching during the simulated game, and he said he could have gotten hitters out today. So his stuff was that good in Moeller's estimation, and Andy felt pretty good about it, too. And we all know the home plate umpire was Reggie Jackson. And you mentioned, Michael, Reggie punched Alex out on a 3rd strike looking. Alex was asked about that. His response, it was a Reggie strike zone.
Count 1-2 on Aaron Hill. Dwayne Wise leads off for first. Vasquez deals. Breaking ball is nubbed toward first base. Grabbed there by Teixeira. He'll step on the bag. And moving to second is Wise, as Dustin Mosley, we saw, also warming up already in the bullpen. One final thing about Andy and Alex. Kim, it all depends on tomorrow, right? How they come in. If they come in sore, then it's a setback. But just off today, it's a positive.
Absolutely. Positives all the way around. And yes, tomorrow's a big day. So maybe I'll just stay here until then.
No, we want you back up here. But before you come up, we want to ask you about John McDonald. I know you talked to John. John's a very nice guy, very engaging guy. And he is from Connecticut, and playing here means a lot to him.
It does. A few years ago, he and I toured Monument Park over at the old Yankee Stadium, and he told me how much it meant to be there then. He said his father used to bring him to games when he was a little kid. Well, his father, Jack McDonald, battled liver cancer and passed away in mid-June. So it has been an emotional roller coaster of a season to John. He told me today, when I'm on the field, I have to make sure I'm not thinking about that stuff. I have to concentrate on my game. He said, but every other moment he's been at this stadium, he's been thinking about his dad, because these are where they made such great memories. And I'm sure he will tell everyone after the game that home run here means an awful lot to him. And I guarantee you he was thinking about his pop when he was rounding those bases.
Well, good stuff, Kim. We'll hear from you later.
You got it, Michael. Thank you.
All right, that's Kim Jones. And count 1-1 now to Jose Bautista. Bautista struck out in the first inning. And now, John, are you a little surprised that they have Mosley warming up already?
No, I'm not. And it just looks like Javi, he walked Wise on 4 pitches, and he missed every time up and away. And that's what we saw from Javi when he was in the rotation and lost his spot. The velocity wasn't great and was kind of pushing the fastball. And I think Joe Jordan and Dave Island may be realizing he doesn't look too sharp early on.
Count 2-1.
Yeah, when he came out of the bullpen, did a better job of keeping his fastball true through the zone and, more importantly, down. But he's been beat with the slider today. It looks like the curveball is better than the slider, and he got Aaron Hill to hit a weak ground ball on the curveball.
There's an off-speed pitch for a strike.
It's a guy we talked about yesterday. The Yankees do not want him to beat them. Obviously, with the 43 home runs, it's very careful to him yesterday.
Wise leads off second. 2-2 count on Bautista. Bautista has an 8-game hitting streak. 12 for 27 during the streak. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Got him with a real slow off-speed pitch, and he kind of stares out at Vasquez.
It takes a little velocity off, and you see the location is not great, but Bautista was fooled on the speed or lack of speed and velocity. The curveballs look better than the slider. He's given up both home runs on backup sliders this afternoon.
There's Vernon Wells. Vernon Wells flied out to right. That was in the second. Now 1-0. You know, it's amazing you consider A-Rod and Pettit. A-Rod's missed 3 weeks. Pettit's missed 7. Those are 2 really important people in the scheme of things for the Yankees. And they just continue to roll on. They still have the best record in baseball. They're 35 games over 500. And they're doing it without a guy who has 600 home runs and a guy who's a borderline Hall of Famer in Andy Pettit. So they've grinded. They really have. People have picked up the pace.
Well, that's the thing offensively. I mean, Mark Teixeira has gotten better. Curtis Granderson has been better. Swisher was outstanding when he was in there. Missed the last couple of games.
Grounded foul.
But you talk from a pitching perspective, Michael. I mean, Andy Pettit is the key to the Yankees coming down the stretch and then hopefully into the postseason. All his experience, have to make sure that he's healthy and productive at the end of September.
So quick talk between Cervelli and Vasquez.
It's interesting, Michael, watching Alex Rodriguez take those swings and then have a little hesitation and then come out of the box. If he comes back tomorrow, that's probably what we'll pay attention to see how he breaks out of the batter's box.
1-2, swing and a miss. Vasquez pumps a fastball past Vernon Wells. So the Blue Jays don't score. Mr. October doing big work here in September, doing some hitting tips with Alex Rodriguez as we go to the bottom of the third. 7:05 on Tuesday and 1:05 on Wednesday. Thursday's a travel day for the Yankees as they head to Texas, and they begin a very long road trip. 3 in Texas, 3 in St. Pete against the Rays, and then 3 in Baltimore against the Orioles. Here's Nunez. And there's a strike. Grounded to short. Gobbled up by McDonald, and Nunez is out for the first out of the third.
Zepchinski looking a lot better than the Yankees saw him the last time out. Really struggled. The Yankees beat him up. He walked 5 in his last outing against the Tigers, but early on has some good stuff, throwing strikes early, getting some ground balls, and that's his game.
That'll bring up Francisco Cervelli. And he lines one to left field. It's a base hit. Cutting over is Snyder. Cuts the ball off in the gap. And Cervelli's going for 2. He caught him sleeping and he makes a double.
Well, with Nunez swinging early in the count, I thought Francisco Cervelli might take a strike. He does not. He jumps over a first pitch fastball from Zepchinski, drives it to the gap, and Snyder does a nice job cutting it off. But Francisco Cervelli, aggressive on the bases, gets himself into scoring position. Coming around first, he has a play in front of him, slips a little bit. It's in there safely.
Hill tried to make the catch and the tag at the same time, but the ball wasn't there with the glove. So runner at second, that's going to bring up Gardner. Yankees are trailing 3-0, bottom of the third. Count 1-0. Foul back.
Blue Jays playing Brett Gardner slightly the other way, and Vernon Wells in center field playing a very shallow center field. A lack of respect for Brett Gardner and some power with the wind blowing out. Brett gets the ball up in the air, could drive it over his head.
The 1-1. Outside, and now Buck wants to have a talk with Zepchinski. So Zepchinski works from the set, checks the runner at second, and the 2-1. 3-1. Just missed inside, so how about that? Another walk. 9 straight games with a walk for Brett Gardner. Hey, tomorrow at 6, college gridiron action returns to Yes with another season of Notre Dame football. Listen to the song. The Fighting Irish kick off their 2010 campaign at home against Purdue, and Yes will have a replay of this afternoon's action from South Bend. Purdue against Notre Dame tomorrow at 6 right here on Yes. Now he matches Jason Giambi's streak of 9 straight games with a walk, set back in 2006. That's not the record, though, but that's the last time a Yankee has done it. Here's Derek Jeter. Fly ball fairly deep right in the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. Grounded. Pass Bautista, and down the left field line. Cervelli scores. They're going to hold up Gardner at third. It's an RBI double for Jeter, and the Yankees are on the board. It's 3-1.
Derek gets fooled. It looked like an off-speed pitch. And he rolls right over the top. We've seen him do this a little bit lately, a little bit early, but just out of the reach of Bautista, diving into foul territory. Once it gets by him, it's going to be a double for Derek Jeter, an RBI. Brett Gardner moves all the way to third base.
So now the tying run is at second base, and here's Mark Teixeira looking for his 100th ribby. Pitch outside. He's at 99 on the season.
Hit a hard line drive fly ball to left field his first at bat. Pretty much saw everything that Zepchinski had. A little sinker, changeup, slider combination. It was all over the slider.
Pitch outside. That's Jeter's first double since August 20th. And he picks up his 60th run batted in of the season.
First base open here with Mark Teixeira and Robinson Cano. Left-handed hitter on deck who has been struggling. See if Zepchinski's going to challenge Mark or pitch around him and take care of Robinson Cano on deck.
Count 2-1. They'll give up the run for the out with the infield bat. Missed outside the count, 3-1.
Behind in the count went slider, changeup. Veteran hitter like Mark Teixeira may be sitting on an off-speed pitch here, 3-1.
Zepchinski steps off. Way outside. So not an intentional walk, but pretty darn close. So Teixeira loads the bases for Robinson Cano. So far this year, Cano has 2 grand slams. Let's take a look at him. That was against Cleveland. And this one against Seattle. Luke French served up that one. Yankees as a team have 10 grand slams, and that ties the 87 team for the most in history. Robinson Cano now just looking for hits. He's 1 for his last 17, 0 for his last 13. With the bases loaded this year, Cano 8 for 14 with 21 ribbies. So 21 of his 91 ribbies have come with the bases loaded. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball.
We kind of saw this from Robinson yesterday in that swing mode. It's been so unusual for him this year. It's been very patient. Slider down in the dirt, an awkward swing. I say very patient for Robinson Cano. He's never going to be a guy who's going to walk a lot. But right now, expanding the strike zone a little bit more than he had all year.
Now, Cano is the first Yankees lefty batter to hit at least 10 home runs off left-handed pitching in 2 straight seasons since Reggie Jackson in 79 and 80. So 30 years ago. Bases loaded. The 0-1. Line drive. Base hit to center field. Gardner scores. Here comes Jeter. They wave him home. The throw from Wells is not in time. It's a 2-run single for Cano. And the Yankees have tied the game at 3. And Cano continues to dominate with the bases loaded.
Robinson joking around that he wants the baseball. It's been so long since he had a hit. A big hit here. It's a nice job at just blocking it off the center field. Gets jammed a little bit. Nice approach. Rewarded with a base hit and a couple RBIs. Staying right up the middle. And a good strong throw from Vernon Wells just offline, enabling Derek Jeter to score.
And there's Jeter with the tying run. So Bruce Walton, the pitching coach, goes out and talks with Zepchinski, who was coasting along through 2, but then ran into trouble. A double by Cervelli, and then he made the mistake of walking Gardner. That put runners on first and second. The double by Jeter scored a run, walked it to Scherer, tied the or loaded the bases, and then Robinson Cano with the game-tying 2-run single. So they pick up Javier Vasquez. And here's Marcus Thames, try to put the Yankees ahead. First and second with 1 out.
It's back on the 24th, and Marcus Thames, who had a great series up in Toronto, beats up Zepchinski for a home run. Remember, that was an 0-2 slider down and in. 2 for 3 against Zepchinski with that home run, being one of the hits. Drove a ball deep to center field his first at bat.
That's what Zepchinski did in that loss. Tim's 31 for 93 against left-handed pitching this year. And the pitch is high. His first time up, a deep fly ball to center. Now, we told you that Cano dominates with the bases loaded. The Yankee team has hit 397 with the bases loaded. Count 1-2. Tim's in the last 9 games has been on fire with the 6 home runs and the 11 ribbies. High fly ball. Fairly deep left. Snyder drifts back and makes a play right on the lip of the warning track as the 2 runners retreat.
Gets in a little bit on Marcus Thames in his hands a little bit. He jammed, looked like a slider in. Just didn't have that good sound to it, and the ball carried to the track in left field.
Marcus has about 770 feet worth of outs in his first 2 at-bats. And that's going to bring up Berkman, who had a hard ground ball up the middle. Stabbed there by McDonald, turned into an out. Swing and a miss. He has really struggled from the right side this year. And not a typical Lance Berkman year from the left side. Count 0-2 now on Berkman. Berkman in his career, he hits 307 from the left side, 262 from the right side. Just missed inside the check swing.
Good try from Zepchinski right there. Back-to-back changeups and then a fastball in off the plate. Trying to get the call for strike 3. Nothing else. You make Lance Berkman aware that you will come in there. Can't dive out over the plate.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Berkman down on strikes. But the Yankee offense comes alive here in the bottom of the third. Starts with a hustle double by Francisco Cervelli, then an RBI double by Jeter, and a bases loaded 2-run single by Cano. It's 3-3. Which three Blue Jays finished 1, 2, 3 in the 1993 American League batting title race? I think I know this one. Do you, John?
No.
Or if you think about it, you would.
93?
Yeah. So Vasquez now has another life, and Overbase swings and misses. His team got him back to 3 runs. Wow. The greatest announcer ever, John.
I can't disagree.
And that's his first Yankee game. And he knows that already. Outstanding. Love you. Enjoy the sport. Pitch is outside.
Well, you said it, Michael. We'll see if Javi Vasquez can rebound a little bit. The Yankees offensively evening up the score. See if this stuff gets a little better. What's it feel to be the greatest announcer ever?
I'll ask Vin Scully. Swing and a miss. Count 2-2. Well, it's the kid's first game ever. He doesn't have much of a background.
Well, I'm sure he listens to you every night, or at least when you're not working. The West Coast games. Obviously, he doesn't listen to you.
Well, he's not up then. It's too late for him. The 2-2. I happened to work a West Coast game with you, John. Yankees Dodgers. I don't know if you remember that game.
That was one of the best broadcasts we had all year.
Good game.
Great game.
I think we had a great breakfast that day, too. At the pool, it was great.
Larry King,
Robert Wall, Mitchell Modell.
They all came to see the greatest announcer ever. Stop by the table.
And Vin Scully wasn't there, so they said hello to us. So a walk to Overbay. Ever. Ever's the word that jumps out. Here's John Buck. You like John Buck as a catcher, John?
I always liked him with Kansas City, and you know what? I don't know John Buck personally, but you remember Tony Graffinino?
Yeah.
Atlanta Brave, was a Devil Ray for a little bit, White Sox. Also Red Sox. He played with John Buck in Kansas City, and he said, you know what, you'd like this guy. Like, good guy in the clubhouse, runs a staff, is not concerned about his own numbers. Having a big year here in Toronto, all-star year.
And how about this? In a year where the power is down around the sport, John Buck leads all American League catchers with 15 home runs. Not too bad, and he catches well.
How about Jorge Posada?
I think it hasn't been all catching. I think he's DH sometimes. Well, you're ready to jump me, aren't you?
Well, I mean, for the greatest announcer ever, you had a quick answer, too.
Jorge has 4 DH. And 13 catching, so 2 behind Buck.
So you ask a question, you get the answers quickly.
Now, after all these like hot, sticky days, wouldn't you sign up for this sort of day forever? If somebody said, okay, it could be like this forever, would you take it?
Of course I would take it. Fall's my favorite season of the year. I don't know about yours too.
Yeah.
But you know what, and I was thinking from the player's standpoint, I mean, you get through the dog days of August, and you mentioned that the heat and how sticky it was, and now you come out here today, it refreshes you a little bit.
John Buck could not hold up, so he swings and misses. 1 away.
Javi really going to the off-speed game here in the 4th inning. Little change up to John Buck, right on right. You don't see that every day. Gets a little check swing, strike 3. I'm thinking, Michael, that this little cooler weather maybe will help Derek Jeter too. You know, had a tough end of August with the heat. Maybe cooler weather. Get himself going again.
1-1. Lind popped up to short. That was in the second. Past the diving Teixeira and into right field. So Lind with a single, Overbay moves to second.
If you look at some of the location and the action on some of these pitches, though, Javi Vasquez isn't going to be real pleased. That looked like a changeup that was up in the middle of the plate. Lind, it's a base hit to right field, right out of the reach of Mark Teixeira, who dove for it. But when you throw a pitch that's up middle, and we'll take another look at it, changeup up in that zone there, probably pretty lucky that it was only a base hit. Javi Vasquez going through one of those times right now, trying to find a rhythm here in the middle of the ball game. Stuff does not look great today as Dave Island looking on.
Well, the Yankees got him back those runs. The last thing you want to do is give up runs the very next half inning. Here's John McDonald, who got him for a 2-run home run his last time up. Pitch outside.
McDonald, one of those home runs, a little spinning slider that didn't do a whole lot. He hooked it right down the line. 2-run shot.
Count 2-0. Top of the fourth inning in Boston. White Sox lead the Red Sox 1-0. Swing and a miss. And top of the fifth inning in Chicago, and the Cubs lead the Mets 2-1. Those are the only other games going on right now in baseball.
Do the Red Sox have a doubleheader? They were postponed last night, right?
Day night.
Day night.
Now the Sox of the white variety lead the Sox of the red variety 2-0 now.
Manny Ramirez back in Boston. Don't know if he's in the lineup today. He is.
Got his haircut too.
Did he?
4 inches. 4 inches of dreadlocks taken off. 3-1. And I don't know if you read the interviews from yesterday. Took total blame for everything that happened in Boston. It was my fault. I made a mistake. The way I acted. I'm sorry. Great bunch of guys over there. Organization's great. All me. I guess his contract's up this year. Manny is 1 for 2 so far today. Right here, runners on first and second, 1 out. Top of the fourth inning, John McDonald is working the count full. Swing and a miss. Fastball right by McDonald.
Been the best fastball of the afternoon for Javi Vasquez, and it came at a big time. Cervelli setting up away. The location was not great, but the velocity in the upper 80s. McDonald maybe sitting on an off-speed pitch, didn't get it.
6 strikeouts for Vasquez through 3 2/3. Here's Travis Snyder. Swing and a miss. I think that this is how he was effective as a reliever too, John. He's pitching slower with the off-speed stuff to make his fastball seem faster.
Yeah, and especially the curveball. You know, it really has taken a lot of velocity off of that pitch. It's helped his fastball. Watching him this afternoon, and you mentioned the 6 strikeouts to this point, it's surprising because he doesn't really have great stuff. Good changeup on the corner there, but his fastball's down, location not great. We're making up for it with a good changeup.
So the fastball is 89, and this changeup, you see how it moves, 75. So that's 15, 14 differential, which is great. The 0-2. Nubbed off the end of the bat, foul.
Drop that one down to 72 miles an hour.
Long talk between Cervelli and Vasquez.
Get the feeling they've thrown a couple off-speed pitches. If they could throw a fastball in the Snyder, they'd probably get him out. Wondering if Javi Vasquez has the confidence he can throw it inside. Keep it true on the inner half.
The 0-2. 1-2. One-two. Runner stay put. 2-2. I would think that pitching the way Vasquez is pitching, John, has to be exhausting because you can't make a location mistake and you got to change speeds and pick just the right pitch to throw. You're not going to dominate anybody.
Not a great shot of the changeup grip right there. Nice play by Cervelli. But you're right. You can't just rear back and fire. And, I'm sitting here thinking as an ex-catcher, a couple opportunities to throw the fastball. It doesn't seem like Javi wants to or maybe trusts that he can throw it where he wants. Going with a lot of off-speed pitches.
2-2. Popped up. Shallow right. Thames comes on and he'll make the play. And that'll do it in the fourth. No runs a hit. 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's still 3-3. Which 3 Blue Jays finished 1, 2, 3 in the 93 American League batting title race? I guess Alomar, Molitor, and Olerud would be my guesses. I don't know if that order. Not bad. What a year for Olerud. And there's a strike to Curtis Granderson. So it's 3-3. Count 1-1. Granderson grounded to second in the second. He's 11 for his last 27 against left-handed pitchers. And now he's 12 for 28. That's since Kevin Long's tutorial with him kind of changed his swing a bit, and he is hitting better against lefties than most any other lefty in the big leagues right now.
Yeah, and we've seen him against lefties go the other way, and when he gets a pitch that he can pull and drive, he's a lot quicker, shorter, more compact. 429 batting average now, those last 28 at-bats against lefties.
Here's Nunez. Good off-speed pitch, count 0-1.
Yeah, Nunez is going to get a reputation that he goes up to the plate ready to swing. Might start seeing some American League pitchers throwing a changeup. First pitch is like Zepchinski there. Likes the fastball. First pitch, didn't get it.
Right back to Zepchinski. Go to second. No return. Wasn't the best throw. Aaron Hill had to gather himself to haul it in. So there's one out.
Ground ball right to Zepchinski. Gets it in good shape. Takes a little crow hop to second. Low throw. Aaron Hill a little late getting there. Nunez runs too well. See Aaron Hill trying to get there. Throw a little bit low. Just takes a sure out.
Vasquez talking things over with Jeter. Jeter's got a pretty good view from where he stands. Cervelli has the best view, and he takes a strike. Shows bunt. 1-1.
Trying to draw Bautista in at third base with a little fake bunt. Bautista saying, if you want the bunt, go ahead. I'm going to play middle. Play pretty much straight up.
Runner goes. That one is lofted into left center field. It is going to be caught. No! He could not hold on. Snyder could not hold on. So Nunez will go to third and Cervelli will go to second. Probably be a double, but the Yankees are set up second and third with one out.
Little hit and run. Nunez running. Cervelli puts the ball in play. It is going to be scored a double. Snyder laying out for it. Has it in his glove. Loses it, loses the handle, and Nunez would have been doubled up, as you see on Yes Mo. Has the ball, its right elbow hits. Nunez comes around second base, paying attention, sees that it hits the ground. He's actually going to go back, thinking that he caught it. Now he sees it hit the ground and moves his way over to third base. A lot going on right there, Mike.
Now the infield has to come in for Brett Gardner. That last replay that we just saw, the one from right field, there was a young lady sitting in the first row behind third base whose looks told it all. When she thought the catch was made, she had her hands to her head. And then when the ball was dropped, she kind of pointed and smiled. So really anything but that. The 1-0. Watch this young lady right here. Hands to the head. There she is. And then tells a story.
Yeah, I'm looking at Nunez coming around second. You're bearing down on the fans in the front row.
Try to see everything.
The greatest announcer ever.
That's why you take it to another level. You see things I can't see.
There we go. Ever underlined, is and ever.
The 2-1. Squibbed out to it short. They can't get the out at home, so they take it at first. And the Yankees lead 4-3 as Nunez scores an RBI for Gardner, and moving to third is Cervelli.
Well, I don't know if Nunez was lucky here or this is just a great read off of the bat. Because this is a little line drive, a jam shot from Brett Gardner. And if Zebchinski catches this, Nunez is going to be doubled up. Just out of his reach, and Nunez got lucky. Sure, he's probably going on contact. You got to freeze on a line drive just out of the reach of Zebchinski. Whatever the case, the Yankees will take it, and Brett Gardner gets credit for an RBI.
43rd Ribby of the year. Here's Jeter. Pitch outside. 1-0. Count 2-0.
Francisco Cervelli taking his secondary lead in foul territory. Trying to get a good jump off the bat.
And Jesse Carlson, another left-hander warming. They have 4 lefties in the bullpen. Percy, Downs, Carlson, and Talley. 3-0. 3-1. Jeter works a walk. Got to send out our best wishes, John. I'm sure that you would echo these wishes. You know Bill Burbridge, he used to be at the front gate of the old Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
First guy you'd see. He's worked for the Yankees for close to 60 years, definitely over 50. He's feeling a little under the weather. So everybody from the Yankee organization, a couple people came up and said, please send out our best wishes to Bill. Hopefully he gets back soon.
I hope you feel better, Bill.
Absolutely. Good guy. And, I mean, a walking encyclopedia of baseball. He's seen it all. Here is Mark Teixeira. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Count 0-2. Teixeira has flied out to left and walked in the third. 327 hitter this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And the 0-2. That one gets away from Buck. Here comes Cervelli. He'll score. Jeter moves to second, and the Yankees lead 5-3.
Unusual to see that from John Buck, an outstanding defensive catcher behind the plate. It looked like it hit the heel of his glove, caromed off of his chest protector. Over by the Yankee dugout, Cervelli's going to score easily with that good secondary lead. Derek Jeter moves himself into scoring position.
Off the end of the bat foul.
Zepchinski going with that slider in on the hands, Mark Teixeira, and that's that line drive fly ball. He had his first at bat to left field, hit it pretty good. Zepchinski's gone with it every pitch here in this at bat to Mark. Dangerous if you make a mistake with it.
And the 1-2. And it plunks Teixeira. And he will take first. And he will be met by Steve Donahue and Joe Girardi.
After 4 sliders in a row, he tries to throw a fastball on the inner half. Gets marked just above the left elbow, a little tricep.
Oh, look at he's already got the bruise. Does that stuff do anything, John?
You know, I'm surprised they still use it. I thought they got rid of that. The cold spray, maybe trying to numb it or keep the swelling down.
Was it effective?
It would help you for like 5 seconds and then it goes away.
I think it used to be called ethyl chloride. I don't know if that's still what it's called, if it's something else they use. Pitch to Cano is high, 1-0. He had a big 2-run single with the bases loaded that tied the game to 3. That was in the 3rd inning. The 1-0. 2-0.
Good take right there from Robinson Cano. Slider down and away. We saw him swing wildly his first at bat, or second at bat actually, at a first pitch slider down off the plate. Looks like he's seeing the ball a little bit better here his 3rd at bat. A lot of room in right center field. Vernon Wells, center fielder, shading Robinson the other way just a little bit.
Count 2-1. So the Yankees trailed 3-0. Now they lead 5-3. Cano now with 93 runs batted in, and he has 19 RBIs over his last 12 home games. The 2-1. You just rarely saw swings like that the first couple of months of the season with Cano, so he's just not right yet.
You saw swings like this the last couple of years from Robinson. Would expand the strike zone, not this year. And just again a little bit off balance, maybe not picking up the break on the slider.
Two. Chop towards second, backing uphill. And he'll make the play at first, and that will do it. But the Yankees take the lead. They score 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2. They go to the 5th, 5-3 innings. Postgame with Kimberly Jones as we go to the 5th inning here at the stadium. The Yankees now lead 5-3 as they look for their 8th straight victory, which would be the high watermark for the year. 5-6-0, leading 3-3-0, and it'll be the top of the Blue Jays order against Javier Vasquez. Wise 0 for 1 with a walk. 1-0.
.72 pitches for Javi Vasquez to this point. For 70 pitches his last relief outing, 55 the time before.
Popped up. Gardner shades his eyes from the sun and puts it away for the first out. It's time for another look at today's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question was, will Darrelle Revis play in the Jets season opener? You've been voting at 58.772, and here's how you voted. No, 76%, overwhelming majority. And Rex Ryan and Mike Tannenbaum were texting a lot to get that 24% in. Here's Aaron Hill. You'll be at that opener, John.
I will be at that opener, but, you know, obviously I'm a Jet fan and season ticket holder, but I'd like to see him back. But we had a big night in the Flaherty household last night, a little fantasy football draft.
Really?
I was lucky enough to get the Jet defense in that draft with my son Logan. We're going to be co-owners of a team.
So you didn't pick individual players, you would pick units.
Well, defense, you go with a team's defense.
Okay.
And then you pick individual players like a quarterback, a running back, you know, wide receivers. It's a big night.
So you got Logan Logan, you have the defense. Was Brian involved?
Well, Brian, my son Brian, is the commissioner of the league. He has set this up with a few uncles, my brother and my brother-in-law, and a few nephews who are in the league, and it's called the Flaherty Football League.
FFL. High fly ball, left field. Into the corner is Gardner, and he makes the play up against the wall for the second out.
Brett Gardner having an interesting afternoon in left field. A lot of sun that he has to fight. He's got the glasses on, using the gloved shade. Also a little wind. The ball carrying right down the line, stays pretty true and in fair territory.
Here is Bautista. He has struck out twice against Vasquez. Using the breaking ball with him a lot in the count 0-1.
Yeah, this has been an interesting game for Javi Vasquez. I mean, as I watch, I feel like he doesn't really have a whole lot. Fastball's not great. Location isn't good. But here he's given up 3 hits. 2 of those have been home runs.
One of them off the pole.
Off the pole. I mean, he's got 6 strikeouts. Now, as I watch here, he's going to throw his 80th pitch. I really don't feel like he has a whole lot, so you got to give him credit for finding a way to get this last out to get through 5 innings.
And he's a stretched out starter despite his stint in the bullpen.
Yep.
As you already said today, he can give you 100 pitches, the 1-1. Breaking ball strike. Now Vasquez is looking to complete 5 innings for the first time since August 6th. About a month.
Dropped down a little bit there to throw that slider to Bautista.
Here's Dustin Mosley. The 1-2. Count 2-2. Cano is practicing his swing while he's in the field, channeling Paul O'Neill. And the 3-2 inside. So a walk to Bautista, who has now walked 17 times against the Yankees this year. And now Dave Island will go out and talk with Vasquez. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Happy birthday, Daniel. Wow, that's nice. This is the greatest candy on earth right there. That one. Strawberry Starburst. There's nothing better than that, John. And it's going away. Where's Daniel? I wonder if Daniel's going to be surprised. There's Vernon Wells. No comment on the Strawberry Starburst?
You know, I'm a big Starburst fan, but I enjoy my my Hershey's milk chocolate. Have to be my #1 favorite.
Daniel's getting older by the day. Get him a cake, okay, guys? Was that Daniel? Pitch outside. He doesn't really look that amused.
Just saw the Strawberry Starburst and smile.
There's the smile. What a nice way to spend your birthday. Made a wish. Let's see if Vernon Wells makes it out. There's a strike. Somebody's got to be taking a picture. Sets him up here. The 2-1. 3-1.
Again, it is not easy for Javi Vasquez this afternoon. A fastball missed up and in. Cervelli telling him to keep that front shoulder in. Overbay on deck, who has a home run in this ball game.
Line drive, and that's going to be a base hit to left field. Moving to third is Bautista. Throw goes into second. And all of this with 2 outs. First and third now for Lyle Overbay.
Joe Girardi wasn't afraid to take Nova out in yesterday's game, and it looks like he's going to do the same thing with Javi Vasquez, and you can tell he's not happy.
Well, they're at the point of the season now. They're not worried about individual achievements or wins or anything like that. He wants to get a win for his team, and Girardi thinks it's slipping away from Vasquez, who battled and clawed his way through 4 2/3. So it's over for Vasquez. Dustin Mosley comes on. He'll face Lyle Overbay. Yankees lead by 2. Yankee Stadium. The Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Well, they're enjoying this one. Javi Vasquez is not. He just got pulled from the game and out from getting a win. 4 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 88 pitches. And Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And they go to Dustin Mosley, the gentleman who lost his spot in the rotation for Javi Vasquez.
See how Dustin Mosley does pitching out of the bullpen. These are his numbers. 11 games, 7 starts. Good numbers against Overbay. 0 for 7. Overbay is against Mosley.
Well, if the last 2 days have proven anything, Yankee pitchers better know you better perform. He's not going to keep you in there just get a win.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. I mean, we talked about Javi Vasquez. It's been a struggle all afternoon for him. He didn't look real happy. Obviously, Joe Girardi taking him out of the game.
Line drive, a base hit down the right field line. Bautista scores. Wells rounding third. They are waving him home. Thames gets the ball to Cano. Cano fires home. Wells is in standing up. It's a game-tying 2-run double for Overbay, and it's 5-5.
Sure, that's not going to make Javi Vasquez any happier sitting in the dugout, but he had a tough afternoon, didn't have a whole lot. Mosley goes with the changeup, and it pretty much stays middle of the plate. And Overbay was having a nice afternoon, a home run, now a double into the right field corner. Scores 2. We have a tie ball game. See Vernon Wells coming around second to third. Third base coach Brian Butterfield's going to wave him in. Standing up.
There's John Buck with a runner on second. Overbay now has 3 ribbies on the day. Pitch outside, he hit the home run, and then the 2-run double. The ball never came out of the corner.
And Marcus Thames, who obviously doesn't play right field a lot, hasn't really played the field since August 2nd. Took a long time to develop down there.
Down 1-1.
It looks like Marcus thinking the ball's going to come out a little bit quicker than it did.
A lot of 5s going. We're in the 5th inning. Game is 5-5. As Buck fouls it off. So Overbay now with 59 runs batted in. 3 today. Talk between Cervelli and Mosley. Boone Logan pitched yesterday up in the bullpen. The 1-2. Still 1-2.
Surprised to see Boone Logan up this early, and Joe Girardi has not been afraid to go to the lone lefty out there early in ball games. This might be an opportunity for Mosley here to pitch multiple innings.
Entering today, Mosley pitched 15 1/3 innings against the Blue Jays this year. He's allowed 7 runs, so doesn't seem to be a good match for this team. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at second. Game tied at 5. Check swing, did he go? No. Said Fielden Culbreth.
Little slider down and away. We get a good look from the side. Or what the umpire sees there from that angle.
3-2. Foul boy. Overbay with Brett Gardner over his right shoulder, leads off second. And the payoff. Grounded to third. Nunez fires across the diamond, and that'll do it. But the Blue Jays tie the score. 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave one. We're halfway through. It's 5-5. Partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
John Buck rolls over, a little off-speed pitch, and Nunez does a nice job coming in, an off-balance throw to the Yankee first baseman, Mark Teixeira. A nice play to end the 5th.
And it's a new pitcher, Jesse Carlson, takes over for Zipchinski. 8th game for Carlson. It'll be Thames, Berkman, and Granderson here in the bottom of the 5th inning in a game that's tied at 5. Carlson spent most of his season at AAA in Las Vegas. He had a 4.24 ERA in 45 games.
You can see from that delivery, he's tough on lefties. Lefties are 1 for 10 against him so far this year.
Grounded foul. T-Rock's had a bad day. Booted one before. He's not going. He's not going to get on Sports Center as he did with that great play. You know what? The tarp got in the way. Swung on a miss.
Tarp got in the way.
I'm a big Terrence fan. Leave the kid alone. He works hard.
Move your feet a little bit. Get a better jump.
You know, after the game, the kid's cleaning spikes and stuff like that. This is not just his only job here. Everybody's so quick to judge in this world. I don't understand. Here's the 2-2. Foul back.
Marcus has had some good swings today and nothing to show for it.
This is a play that made Terrence famous. Catches the ball, and then the key was catching the hat after it. Terrence gets another shot. He was ready to pound, see? But it made the seats.
A little sluggish, a little day game.
Watch him react like a cat. Watch him.
Yeah, just out of his reach.
Fouled away. Count 3-2 to Thames. Rounded to third. Bautista fires across the diamond for the first out. Hey, you can save up to 40% off the advanced game price on select field seats and other great seating locations for Yankees home games now through September 7th. Compliments of DKNY. This back-to-school ticket special presented by DKNY is for a limited time only, and tickets are subject to availability. Tickets are available at Yankees.com, all Ticketmaster outlets, and the Yankee Stadium ticket office. Here's Lance Berkman. He's 0 for 2. And he grounds one to Bautista. 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Curtis Granderson. Granderson 1 for 2. Granderson grounded to second, single to right. Count 0-1.
Tough test for Curtis Granderson here. I mentioned Carlson and his numbers against lefties outstanding. Really stepped towards the Yankee dugout. Tough at bat for a lefty.
1-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Impressive inning for Jesse Carlson as he retires the Yankees in order. Through 5, it becomes a battle of the bullpens with the game tied at 5. York Yankees. Caught you looking. I get it. See? The K backwards is looking. Anyway, we go to the 6th inning, and they bring in Boone Logan now. So Dustin Mosley came on to get the final out, and those are Logan's numbers. And the question that's automatically out there to be asked, if you're going to bring in Logan now, why didn't you bring in Logan to face Overbay? And what Joe Girardi would tell you is that Overbay's 0 for 7 against Mosley.
And now he's 1 for 8. And if you look at the numbers against Boone Logan, Overbay 1 for 4.
And that's what he would tell you.
That's what he would tell you. But here, Boone Logan has a couple of lefties. Here in the 6th inning, Adam Lind. Snyder batting 9th, left-hander.
Lind 1 for 2. Pitch inside.
We've seen Joe Girardi not afraid to go to Boone Logan in the middle innings. His only lefty. Confidence in David Robertson, Kerry Wood, Jobber Chamberlain.
Served into left field. Gardner makes the play on the back pedal. 1 out. Here's John McDonald, 2-run home run off the left field foul pole in the 2nd, and then struck out in the 4th. Playing shortstop, batting 8th. Popped up, right field. Marcus Thames for the 2nd out. Final game of the 3-game set is tomorrow. Let's take a look at the starting pitchers. Brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. It's time for Fios. Brett Cecil having a good year for the Blue Jays against Phil Hughes having a good year for the Yankees. 16-6, 4.10. Our coverage begins at 12:30 with the pregame, and 1:08 will be the first pitch. Here's Travis Snyder against Logan. And a strike. Strange way to get water in your eye. Good to the last drop. That was Damaso Marte, the count 1-1. Grounded foul. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2-3 inning. He did it on 7 pitches. Impressive by Boone Logan. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-5. computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Better hurry up. There's not much season left. We're in September. Eduardo Nunez leads off against Jesse Carlson. Now, I said after 5 innings, the game is now in the hands of the bullpen. Well, if history is any indicator, the Yankees are in pretty good shape. In their last 28 games, they have a 1.50 ERA. That's the Yankee bullpen. And that's a full run lower than any other team in baseball has over that stretch. A full run lower. That's how good their pen's been. The Blue Jays have 8 pitchers in their bullpen as Nunez grounds it to McDonald. They have 4 righties and 4 lefties. There's a Yankee bullpen since August 4th, 1.50. The Braves are next. More than a run. The Padres and then the Mets. And we said this on the postgame yesterday, and all you have to do is look back. All 3 years of the Girardi-Island combination, they've taken a bullpen that was full of question marks at the beginning of the year and turned it into a strength by the time the end of the season came around. And there's something to be said for that. Every year we talk about, gee, their bullpen's in bad shape in April and May and mixing, matching, and this year the addition of Kerry Wood certainly has helped. But in fairness, the bullpen was straightened out before they got Wood. Wood just made it even stronger. And that's a testament to Island and to Harkey out in the bullpen. And then, of course, Joe Girardi, the guy who makes the decisions. Job of Chamberlain. Foul away.
You know, I think David Robertson really straightening out his season has really improved the whole bullpen, because then he moved into the later innings. Jabba was moved out of the 8th. He seemed to have gotten himself better since that time. You see David enjoying himself. It's amazing how one guy can change the whole dynamic of a bullpen. One guy gets hot, pitches later, everybody else settles into better roles. Kerry Wood comes around, Boone Logan.
White Sox leading the Red Sox 2-1. That's in the 7th inning. Red Sox have to start winning some games. I mean, they've got a real long shot to make it into the playoffs, even as a wild card. And if you don't win games, well, I mean, it's pretty elementary. Nice play by Robbie Thompson. Now, Gordon Beckham just had a double to drive in a run, and the White Sox now lead 3-1 over the Red Sox. High fly ball, center field. Vernon Wells for the second out.
Hey, next week, get ready for 2 big center stage premieres on Yes. First, Tuesday at 11 o'clock, U.S. Open and Wimbledon tennis champ John McEnroe sits down to talk about his career. And then on Wednesday, controversial Cowboys Hall of Famer Michael Irvin joins the Candid Conversation. It's GMC Presents Center Stage with Michael Kay, the greatest announcer on earth, only on Yes. The best announcer ever.
Thanks so much. You know what I should have asked McEnroe? I really want to go to the U.S. Open on Monday. I don't have tickets.
That's not going to be a problem for you. You just call up and say, I'm the greatest announcer ever. I'd like some seats.
That's what Kim said I should do. Just not the greatest announcer ever. She said you should just call and said there's tickets available, I'm sure.
It reminds me, Tino Martinez was with us a couple of games ago, and he wanted to go to the U.S. Open, did not have tickets. And I said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm just going to call somebody and get tickets.
See, I don't have the juice. I didn't hit a grand slam in the World Series.
But you called it. See ya. Isn't that worth something?
not tickets to the U.S. Open on Labor Day. But thank you for the belief in me, John. The 1-1. Count 2-1. Gardner's 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored and an RBI and a stolen base. Full day. There's a strike. Grounded and grabbed there by Hill. Nice play, and he gets Gardner for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. So Carlson has come on to get 6 in a row. We'll go to the 7th at 5-5. Labored, but kept the team in it. 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. Overbay hurt him. 2 for 2. One of those 2 against Dustin Mosley, a 2-run double that tied the game. And Robinson Cano picked up a 2-run single with the bases loaded as he continues to thrive with the bases jammed. Labor Day weekend here at the stadium, close to a full house, and Dwayne Wise leads off. Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. So Wise leads off with a single. They kept Logan in just to get the lefty Wise. Now here comes Joe Girardi. He is going to go to the bullpen on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard. It's 5-5. Identical line scores, 5, 6, and 0. So Girardi will go to his 4th pitcher. Looks like it's going to be Jabba Chamberlain. Chamberlain against Hill when we get back right here on Yes. computer world, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. So now they turn it over to Jabba Chamberlain. Boone Logan went 1 inning plus. Gives up the base hit to Dwayne Wise. And now Chamberlain will face Hill, Bautista, and Wells. This will be his 60th game. 58 innings, 61 hits, 59 strikeouts. Now, since July 28th, though, Jabba has pitched to a 1.72 ERA with 14 of his 16 appearances scoreless. And he also seems to be throwing harder.
Throwing harder and doing a nice job keeping that fastball down. But Hill has given him some problems in his career. 357, 5 for 14 with a home run.
Hill today's 0 for 3.
Wise has speed. He's had four stolen bases, has not been thrown out.
Pitch outside. The 1-0 pitch. Foul back. Now, John, let me ask you, are the guns that different from stadium to stadium? Or is he that much of a range of 94 to 100?
I think he's that much of a range. I mean, there are some days he comes out and you can tell he has greater velocity. I mean, there is some difference from gun to gun, but it's usually maybe 2 miles an hour off. Right. You know, it wouldn't be 4 or 5. But, you know, I think like a lot of relievers, there are some days that Jabba comes out of the pen feeling good. Everything's right. The velocity is going to be up there. Other outings, maybe not feeling 100%.
Really paying attention to Wise. And sometimes we'll see the velocity jump, you know, as the outing goes on. That was 95 miles an hour, and it just clipped Hill. So now the Yankees have themselves a jam. First and second, nobody out, and Jose Bautista due up.
You see Cervelli setting up away, and it gets away from Jabba up and in. I mentioned before, Jabba coming out of the pen with good velocity, but more impressive lately, being able to work the ball down. This is when we see Jabba get in trouble, when you see a lot of high fastballs. Working underneath it a little bit.
Now, this should be an interesting matchup. Jose Bautista, who can turn around a fastball, and he likes the ball on the inside part of the plate. So is Jabba's location with his fastball what it should be? Now, obviously, his slider will play against what Bautista is going to try to do. We'll see how he works him. I think he's going to be very careful with Bautista. Starts him off with a breaking ball away.
Expect to see a lot of sliders this at bat. You mentioned it, Bautista can turn around a fastball.
96 on the inside corner, 1-1.
96, but missing by a whole plate. You see Cervelli setting up away, and it ends up on the inner half. Not a good sign for Jabba there, missing location by that much.
That time sets up outside and hits it, but high. And the count 2-1.
Careful here with the fastball, thinking maybe about a little slider down and away in a fastball count. We'll see what Jabba's thinking.
There's a breaking ball for a strike. Bautista thought it was too high.
Yeah, it's a good pitch. You know, obviously having a big year, Bautista talks to the umpires a lot. Little get me over slider, maybe top of the zone. I don't know what Bautista's thinking. That's a pitch right there. If you're ready for it, you can hammer a little get me over slider up. Didn't like the call.
Two count on Bautista, the major's home run leader. This is outside 97, so the velocity is picking up.
See if Java goes with the 3-2 slider. He has liked that pitch in his career.
The pitch. Strike three. And Bautista is barking. How does he not get thrown out? He's obviously arguing and strikes some balls, and he is thrown out. I mean, Ed Hickox let him get away with a lot. He's really barking.
Bautista was talking the whole at bat. He didn't like the 2-1 slider that was maybe borderline up. We'll take a look at this one. And that looks like it's off the plate. And that's a ball.
Well, he's got a lot to argue about, but you're not supposed to argue balls and strikes. So he gets tossed out. Now Cito Gaston, the manager of the Blue Jays, takes over the argument. Let's look at the pitch-by-pitch to Bautista, brought to you by Suzuki Kizashi.
Look how Java Chamberlain attacked a little first pitch slider, ball one, pretty close pitch, fastball for a strike, fastball up and away, ball two. Here's the 2-1 slider. He gets the call for strike two, fastball down, ball three, and then a 3-2 slider off the plate. Java Chamberlain gets the call.
That's a big out for the Yankees and a big injection for the Blue Jays. They lose a guy with 43 home runs in a tie game in the 7th. Here's Vernon Wells. And the count 1-0. Along with John Flaherty and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball here on Yes. We thank you for joining us on this Saturday of Labor Day weekend. It's 5-5, top of the 7th. That could be a double play. There's one. And a stretch by Teixeira for two. A full body stretch toward right field, and he kept his foot on the bag to complete the double play. An outstanding play by Mark Teixeira. No runs a hit, no errors. And because of this double play, just one man left on base. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees and the Blue Jays are tied at 5. Speaking of a stretch, there's one by Teixeira. We're going to stay right here and honor America in the Bronx. 7th inning, it'll be Mark Teixeira after Derek Jeter. So a pretty good 1-2 punch at the top. 5-5 game on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard. And they're going to face a new pitcher. It's going to be Jason Frazier. So Jeter, Teixeira, and Cano here in the bottom of the 7th. The game knotted at 5. Those are the numbers on Jason. Now, John McDonald will take over at third for Bautista, who got thrown out, and Mike McCoy will take over at shortstop for McDonald. Derek Jeter, fly ball to right in the first, an RBI double inside third in the third, then he was walked in the fourth. And there's a strike.
Derek a double and an RBI. Still an off-balance swing, rolling a ground ball down the third base line. You're kind of waiting for that one good swing, a line drive to right field, get him back on track.
But it is interesting what Kevin Long has been saying. He just needs a hit. So even if you want to bat it the wrong way in the third, he picked up an RBI double, so he feels better when he steps into the box. Alex Rodriguez eligible to come off the DL tomorrow. Took part in a simulated game before the game today. Jeter's worked the count 2-1. Andy Pettitte and Alex Rodriguez. And if you joined us late, didn't hear Kimberly Jones report in the third inning, all things went well. And we'll see how they feel tomorrow. You see Jeter on the Major League's all-time run scored list. 7 away from Mickey Mantle, who's number 28. And then the famous Big McPhee. Sir, if it says 7, we know it's Mantle. And the 2-1. That's the pitch that he's been rolling over, John.
Yeah, and it's a slider down and away. And, you know, it's just unusual. It's almost like when Robinson Cano has an off-balance swing. When Derek Jeter is early with the off-speed pitches, reaching out and lunging, it jumps out at you because you're just not used to seeing it. Oh, he's so good at letting the ball travel to him. Now it looks like he's kind of going out and reaching for it.
Jeter 4 for 22 lifetime against Frazier. That one right in on the hands, foul back.
It's hard to do as a hitter, but you have to almost force yourself to let the ball travel and get jammed. Remember Don Mattingly always talking about that when he was the hitting instructor here. Get jammed a few times, fight it off the other way. Tough to do when you get in that batter's box.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Jeter down on strikes. Today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Lyle Overbay, number 2, John McDonald, number 3, Robinson Cano, and number 4, Francisco Cervelli. Vote now, make your voice heard, and standard text messaging rates apply. Here's Mark Teixeira. And there's a strike. Teixeira 0 for 1. He walked and was hit by a pitch. One and one. Kerry Wood warming. He got the win in yesterday's game. Faced 5, retired all 5. Teixeira against Frazier is 0 for 8. Count 1 and 2. Yankees have been very successful of late at home. They've been great at home all year. 12-3 in their last 15 games. And during their 7-game winning streak coming into today's game, they've outscored opponents 50-24, and they've hit .314. hot at the right time down the stretch, trying to hold off the Tampa Bay Rays. The 2-2. 3-2. Rays beat the Orioles in Baltimore last night, so they stay a game and a half behind the Yankees. Red Sox 8.5 out, and they're trailing 3-1 bottom of the 8th to the White Sox. There's a ground ball to first. Overbay playing near the line, steps on the bag with the second out. This is the Yankees' second 7-game winning streak of the year. Last year, they had 6 streaks of 7 or more games as they headed to their 27th world title. Here's Cano. Big bases loaded single, driving in 2 in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 3. 2 for his last 19. There's a base hit to center field.
Almost the identical hit he had earlier with the bases loaded to drive in a couple of runs. Gets jammed, fights it off, forcing the ball right back up the middle. Although Robinson Cano not 100% right with his swing right now, picks up a couple of hits.
48th multi-hit game for Cano. So 96 hits, or at least 96 hits in 48 games. Here's Marcus Thames. Driven a left foul.
I mentioned this earlier. Marcus Thames has had some good swings today. Nothing to show for it. A couple of deep fly balls to center field, left field. Good swing right there. Just a little bit too quick with the slider.
Long set. The 0-1. Driven deep to left field. Going back Snyder. On the track. Looking up. See ya! A 2-run home run from Marcus Thames. And the Yankees lead 7-5. His specialty is hitting left-handers. But that's his 11th home run. And 7 have come against right-handers.
Big swing of the bat for Marcus Thames for the Yankees. Also for him, he's been swinging the bat good all day. Just missed a couple of home runs earlier with some deep fly balls. He gets a slider, middle of the plate here. Nice extension. The wind blowing out today. He didn't need any help, but this is going to go a long way because of that. It's 11th of the year. Pumped up as he rounds first base.
Here's Lance Berkman. He gets a chance to hit from the left side. So the Yankees lead 7-5. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit for Berkman. All with 2 outs, 3 straight hits. A single, a home run, and a single.
Marcus Thames had a first pitch slider that he pulled foul. Was a little bit too quick. He gets another one, and he's right on time. See Vernon Wells going back, but this is going to end up at the back of the Blue Jay bullpen. A long home run. Marcus Thames.
Last 10 games, 7 of his 11 home runs. Anderson fouls it away.
Michael, you can just go up and down the ball club and look at guys who have gotten hot since Alex Rodriguez has missed some time. Marcus Thames, Curtis Granderson, Mark Teixeira. Love to see that as teammates stepping up. You got to contribute a little bit more when your big third baseman is down. Lots of the Yankees have done that.
Count 1-2. A lot to smile about for Marcus, who's had a very good season for the Yankees. Signed as a non-roster player, had to make the team in spring training. He has certainly done that. And he's contributed big hits. He's had 2 walk-off hits for the Yankees this year. Slow ground ball to McCoy. Goes across the diamond to get Granderson, and that'll do it. But the Yankees get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. The big hit, though, a long home run off the bat of Marcus Thames. A 2-run shot. We go to the 8th. Yankees up 7-5. It's only on Yes. You are on TV, and happy birthday. First game. Nice birthday present. As we go to the 8th inning, new pitcher for the Yankees is Kerry Wood. A couple of defensive changes for the Yankees. We'll give you those as we move along. Those are the numbers for Wood between the Yankees and the Indians. And there's a strike to Overbay. 7-5 Yankees lead on the Thames home run. That's it for Thames in the game. He's replaced in right field by Greg Golson. And the new third baseman, Ramiro Pena, replaces Nunez. There's a swing of this. There's Golson. And Pena at third. Swing and a miss, overpowering Overbay.
And Overbay has had a nice day swinging the bat, but Kerry Wood comes right at him. 3 fastballs in a row, the last 2 up in the zone. And Overbay could not catch up.
Since coming over to the Yankees, those are his numbers, but this is the first time he's worked back-to-back days. They're trying to find out about him as they move deeper into September than the postseason. John, you've talked about Dave Island made a slight adjustment. I wonder how much effect going into a pennant race does on play. Because with the Indians, what did it mean? Every game didn't mean anything. This means everything every game.
No, I'm sure it has a lot to do with it.
Knocked down by Teixeira, flips to Wood, and they retire Buck.
Well, I know Kerry was excited to come over here, like you said, obviously for a playoff push. But then you get a little adjustment, a little higher arm angle. Your stuff gets better. See Buck right off the end of the bat. Little spin on that ball, gets away from Mark Teixeira. Does a nice job knocking it down. Plenty of time to get John Buck. Good job by Kerry Wood getting over there. I think it's a perfect combination with a guy who obviously a veteran. Little playoff push, new atmosphere, mechanical adjustment. You got a dangerous late inning reliever.
There's Adam Lynn and a strike. Well, the Yankee bullpen didn't allow a run yesterday, and it's trying to do the same thing today. Now, Dustin Mosley came on and gave up a 2-run double, but no runs were charged to him. Those runs were allowed by Javier Vasquez.
Kerry Wood not wasting any time either, coming right at these Blue Jays with a good fastball.
Last year, Wood developed a cutter for the first time. This year, 26% of Wood's pitches are cutters. That was a breaking ball. He's changed his arsenal, obviously, from his salad days in Chicago with the Cubs. Blistering fastball. Knee-buckling breaking ball. A 1-2. Driven out to left field. Gardner back. And he makes the play. A 10-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for Kerry Wood and the Yankees. Yankees coming up to bat in the bottom of the 8th. They're leading 7-5, looking for more.
Marcus Thames, little slider down middle, his 11th home run of the year, deep into the Blue Jay bullpen, a 2-run shot. Land Rover drive of the game.
Ramiro Pena leads off against Jason Frazier, who gave up that home run. And he takes a strike. And the count 1-1. Pena likes hitting against the Blue Jays. 6 for 12 this year against Toronto.
Been a hot hitter lately. It wasn't too long ago we were talking about Pena trying to get above 200. Now at 230. 18 RBIs.
There's a strike. And he walks. So a walk to Pena to start up the 8th. And Bruce Walton to the bullpen phone. Cito Gaston in his final month managing this team, he has said that he is going to leave the Blue Jays and become an advisor to the head of the Blue Jays, Paul Beeston. So he's leaving the dugout, and they have to have a managerial search at the end of the year.
It'll be a tough decision. I mean, we've talked a little bit about their good young rotation. They played above 500 baseball this year. You got to expect some better things from Toronto in the years coming up.
Pitch out. Now their third base coach, Brian Butterfield, obviously someone who is going to be considered for that role, and I'm sure he would like the players to love him. He was the bench coach last year, third base coach, really well respected around the game. Was an outstanding baseball man out of the Yankee system. And his dad, Jack Butterfield, used to be a player development guy, so he's been a coach for a long time. I'm sure he'd like a shot as a manager. But they're going to have a wide open interview process to see who they're going to bring in. Runner goes, and the ball foul back. And Cito's going to be a part of it because he's an advisor and somebody that Beeston really respects. Cito, 2 world championships with the Blue Jays in 92 and 93. 4 American League East titles, and he has 878 wins with the Blue Jays. That's the most in franchise history. So 2 stints from 89 to 97, 2008 to now. There's a strike. Mariano getting ready. Count 2-2. Frazier's really slowed down on the mound. Taking a lot of time between pitches. Two balls, 2 strikes. Cervelli waits. The pitch and it's fouled out.
Really having a nice at bat here. Fouled off a good fastball. Looking down to third base coach Robbie Thompson for the signs. Had a nice ball game, 2 for 3. A couple of doubles.
Lofted into shallow right center. Vernon Wells got a good jump, and he makes the play. Look where he is to make that play for the first out. Hey, tomorrow on Yes, the Yankees and the Blue Jays close out their series here at the stadium. Complete coverage will start at 12:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then John Flaherty and I are back to bring you all the action from the Bronx. Blue Jays Yankees tomorrow at 12:30 only on Yes. Phil Hughes against Brett Cecil. So with the lefty Gardner coming up, Cito Gaston's going to go to the bullpen and bring in one of his lefties in the bullpen to face Gardner. and keep it right here at 7-5. David Percy is the guy who's going to get the call. Percy against Gardner. Runner on first with 1 out. You stay right where you are. You're watching Yes. Winning Yankees on deck, presented by Topps Attacks. Andy Pettit gives you tips on how to perfect your pitching. Plus, Ramiro Pena takes us out of the park and into the kitchen. It's all today after the postgame, only on Yes. John, and your professional priority visits are outstanding on that show.
Thank you, Mike.
Very, very informative, too. David Percy takes over. This will be his 26th game. 28 base runners in 26 innings, which is very good. 23 strikeouts, so good numbers, and they bring in the lefty to try to get Gardner. Although Gardner doesn't seem as if he's really neutralized by lefties. And the fact that Girardi has him batting leadoff today against the left-handed starter tells you that he doesn't think he's been neutralized either.
Coming into today just under 260 batting against lefties.
Not great, but certainly not shutting them down. 3-1, it's a final, so the White Sox beat the Red Sox in the first game of their day-night doubleheader. So the Yankees could pick up a full game on the Red Sox. Shadows might come into play when Rivera takes them out in the ninth inning. Right now, home plate about to be enveloped by shadows. There's a strike to Gardner. Seven 790-2560. Runner goes. Pitch is high. Throw from his knees to second. Got him. Well, Buck must have some arm. No legs at all. Just throws from his knees and guns down Pena.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple of times from Big John Buck behind the plate. Pena gets a good jump. John Buck to his knees, a strong throw. McCoy, a nice tag. You're right, Michael. You have to have plenty of arm strength to do that from your knees.
Might have been safe.
Brett Gardner looked like he was out the first time around, so it all evens out. From his knees, good finish. That's impressive.
1-1. Strike 1 and 2. Now he doesn't get up because he doesn't think he has time to get up there, John.
You know, that's part of it, and I was just thinking there's sometimes you get in a bad habit behind the plate where you start dropping to your knees and throwing everything. I don't think it's by design. I think he saw that Pena had a good jump, and he was the only chance he had. We'll see Jorge Posada do that sometimes. Obviously, where the pitch is located will dictate if you can do that. Had a good pitch to throw.
Remember, in his latter years, Thurman Munson would do that, and he from his knee sidearm. And it would get there somehow. The 2-2. Outside 3-2. And the full count delivery. Foul back. The only two other games that were going on, 1 o'clock starts, they're over now. We showed you the White Sox beating the Red Sox 3-1. And the Mets lose to the Cubs 5-3. So Gardner has a full count, and coming into today, he was 11th in the league in full counts. Means he sees a lot of pitches, and that's what you want a leadoff guy to do, especially in his first at bat. 3-2, and he walks. Second walk issued to Gardner, and that's going to bring up Jeter. Derek's 1 for 3 today with an RBI double and a walk. Percentage of swings, 31.2% of the pitches he sees he swings at. That's the lowest in the American League. Jeter struck out his last time up against Jason Frazier. Now he's facing David Percy. Now we see those shadows, John. Any effect at all? I mean, we talk about it, but we've never been in that box. Any effect at all?
Not right now. You can see that the shadow is right at home plate. Derek Jeter actually probably going to have his left foot in the sun, his right foot in the shade. So he won't have any problem now. It's once those shadows get out towards the mound, it becomes a little tougher.
Between the mound and home plate?
Yep.
And once it goes past the mound, then it's okay?
No, it'll still be a problem because you're going to have a lot of sun in the center. You know, in center field, it's going to be bright, and then the pitch is you're going to see bright behind the pitcher, and then it comes into the shadows between the mound and home plate.
So this is the least effective.
Yes, right now. Derek has faced Percy 3 times, has 3 hits and a home run.
He's looking for his first multi-hit game since August 21st. Derek has 4 hits in his last 37 at-bats. Hitting .266. Count 1-2. Rob Thompson going through the signs. Mariano's just waiting. Pitch yesterday wasn't a save situation. If the score holds with a 2-run lead, it would be a save situation. Paying a lot of attention to Gardner.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Brett Gardner taking off here. Derek Jeter behind in the count 1-2 with 2 outs. Take a chance. Try to get yourself in a scoring position.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Percy gets Jeter on strikes, who ends the day 1 for 4. Yankees strand 1. We go to the 9th. Blue Jays against Rivera coming up. A look at the big matchups around the majors and how they affect the playoff race. It's the WB Mason postgame coming up after the last out, only on Yes. Check out Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones in the postgame. And now you check out Mariano Rivera in the 9th inning. We've seen this a lot since 1996. Yeah, he pitched 7th and 8th then. Definitely since 97. And his numbers are just as good as ever. 37 base runners and 49 and 2/3 innings. With 39 strikeouts. 28 saves, so looking for number 29 in his 52nd game.
He pitched yesterday, but only threw 6 pitches in that outing.
So John McDonald will start it off. Pena right on the lip of the grass at third. Off the bag by about 10 feet. A strike. Mariano's ERA of 1.09 would be the lowest in his career if the season ended today. So there's a chance to go even lower than 1.09. And he's doing this at the age of 40. And with a lot of wear and tear on that tire. The 0-2 spoils it. Came up in 95, pitched in the playoffs against the Mariners there. Yankees really didn't know what they had. Actually started for the Yankees. Then ascended to the setup role for John Wetland in 96. Yankees fought off trade offers. In 97, he became the closer. And we haven't looked back since then. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Mariano recognizing that McDonald wanted to swing the bat that hole at bat. Expanding the strike zone, throwing it off the plate, down and away. Using McDonald's aggressiveness against him.
Travis Snyder fouls it off. Mo has allowed just 28 hits this year. His career low was 35 hits, which he allowed in an injury-shortened 2002. Yankees looking for their 8th straight win. That'd be their high water mark for the year.
Yeah, we talked about it during this winning streak. I mean, it's been a good combination. When the starter hasn't been great, the bullpen has been good. Other games, the starting staff has done a nice job. The offense hasn't scored that many. It's been a nice combination here through 7 games.
Count 1-2. Today, Vasquez started, and then the bullpen combination of Mosley, Logan, Chamberlain, Wood, and Rivera trying to close it out. We said after 5 it was a battle of the bullpens. One mistake by Jason Frazier. And a 2-run home run by Thames is the difference. A 1-hopper to Cano. And the Blue Jays are down to their final out. And that's going to bring up Dwayne Wise. Talked to Mariano the other day, coming back from Chicago. He had said after the World Series last year he had 5 more years he wanted to pitch. Kind of half joking. And I said to him, have you decided yet? He goes, you know what? Baseball-wise, I definitely want to. He said, but it really does come down to the family. Line drive, base hit over the leaping try of Teixeira, so Wise keeps it alive. He said, I've got kids, they're getting older, I want to be part of their life. He said, we'll have to see. But I think he is going to come back. Why wouldn't he?
Well, after the year he's having. Wise gets a base hit, and more importantly, brings the tying run to home plate in Aaron Hill. He's 1 for 10 against Mariano in his career.
the foot of Hill right back to Rivera.
The difference over the last couple of years with Mariano right here against a right-hander, able to throw that two-seamer in. Foul ball right off of Hill's left foot. Used to see righties go up there and have some pretty good at-bats. Now that two-seamer keeping them off the cutter away.
The 0-1 to Hill. Grounded foul. Now, if you're worried about the home run, he has allowed just one home run this year, and that was to Jason Kubel on May 16th. And that was a shocker. They usually are. Crowd of 47,478. Most of them standing. Looking for out number 3. Looking for win number 8 in a row. Rivera has it in his hands. The 0-2. Runner goes, no throw. He'll take second. And that's defensive indifference. And the pitch. Inside.
Really keeping the ball in on Hill, in on his hands. Couple of two-seamers. McCoy waiting on deck.
The 2-2. Grounded foul. That's a lot different way you'd pitch Aaron Hill if you knew that Jose Bautista was on deck, but Bautista got thrown out in the 7th inning, arguing a called third strike by home plate umpire Ed Hickox. And Mike McCoy took over in that spot. Wise is at second. Yankees up by 2. Rivera on the mound on a sun-splashed day at the stadium. Strike 3, ball game over. Yankees win 7-5. The Yankees win their 8th in a row. They even up their season record against the Blue Jays at 7-7. And the Yankee high water mark of 36 games over 500 has been reached thanks to that man, Marcus Thames, a 2-run home run by Thames in the 7th inning. The difference in the ball game broke a 5-5 tie as the Yankees win this one 7-5. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. John, it came down to a battle of the bullpens, and the Yankee bullpen has been great for the last couple of months. No different today.
Yeah, it seems like the same old story for the Yankees and the bullpen. Now a strength. A couple of months ago, it was a weakness. They have it all figured out there in the middle innings, the late innings, getting the ball to Mariano Rivera, who picks up another save.
So the Yankees, without some of their key components, they are clicking, people stepping up. Guys like Marcus Thames, he has owned the last couple of weeks, and his home run, the difference in the game as the Yankees continue to build on the left column. Another win for them, another game over 500, and more pressure on the Toronto Blue Jays, or should I say on the Tampa Bay Rays, who are going to play the Baltimore Orioles. Joe Girardi has to feel good. So does Marcus Thames. He's with Kimberly Jones. Kim?
Thank you, Michael. Marcus, given that it's Labor Day weekend, you guys picked a nice time to roll off your longest win streak of the season at 8 games, didn't you?
It's good right now. We won the series, and we haven't beat these guys all year in a series, so it's a big win for us, and hopefully we can keep it up.
Talked to you a lot lately. Tell me, what did you see on that pitch?
Slider. They threw me sliders all day today, and I took some good swings early in the day, and I never could catch up with one, and I didn't miss that one. It was a big win for us.
7 home runs in your last 10 games, so you are feeling great. Is that why there was some joking in the dugout when you got back, specifically, I think, with Pena and Girardi? Tony Pena?
Yeah, they always messing with me. They tell me I play too many games in a row, I get tired. They have to sit me down for a day or two. But I'm having fun with it. As long as we're winning ball games, I'm proud of it.
That's what you always say, and we do believe you. But I've got to ask you this. Beginning of the season, all we talked about was were matchups. Are you going to play against lefties and everything else? Do matchups even matter to you at all, given that 7 of your 11 home runs this season are against righties?
I was brought here for, to face left-handed pitching, and unfortunately we had some guys get hurt, and I've been getting a chance to get in there. And like I said earlier, I mean, I have more home runs in my career against righties than lefties, but everything's been working out. As long as I'm hitting them, we're winning ball games. That's a big plus.
I think we're all noticing that stat now, Marcus. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Michael.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you, Marcus, as well. So the Yankees win this one 7-5. They've won 8 in a row. When we come back, we'll find out what the play of the game is. 100% last pitch to Aaron Hill. Yankees win, and we'll be back. Stay right here.